All right, so maybe you're like me. You've been bitten by the creative bug, and you're thinking, hey,
A side hustle.
yeah, a side hustle.
That's the dream.
That could bring in like 10 grand a month. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Who wouldn't want that?
Exactly. And print on demand, that's what everyone's talking about.
It's everywhere you look, right?
It is. So we're doing a deep dive today into this guy, Alex's advice. He seems to have figured it out.
Yeah, he's got this video, best print-on-demand sites that make $10 call more.
Okay, so straight to the point. I like it.
He doesn't mess around. He tells you, like, it is what works, what doesn't.
What I appreciate is he doesn't just list the platforms.
Right, it's easy to get caught up in the hype.
Totally.
But Alec digs deeper. He's like, look, understand the business model. That's where the real gems are hidden.
Okay, so it's not enough to just know which platforms exist.
It's knowing how they work for you, how you can actually make money.
He's all about the strategy.
100%. And he's got some strong opinions on this.
Like what?
He's not a fan of those all-in-one platforms like Redbubble, Teespring.
Really? Those always seem so easy.
They do, right? They handle everything. You just upload your designs.
That's what I thought.
But that convenience, there's a catch.
There's always a catch. What is...
Is your limited manner, limited traffic, limited control over your marketing, and that equals limited earnings.
Exactly. Alec even admitted he only made a few cents per sale on Redbubble.
No way.
Yeah, even with hundreds of designs up there.
See, that's what's scary. You think you're in a good spot.
You think you're doing all the right things.
And then you're barely scraping by.
It's a reality check for sure.
Okay, so if those all-in-one platforms aren't the answer, what's the alternative?
Yeah, what does Alex suggest?
He's a big advocate for what he calls the traditional print-on-demand model.
Okay, so traditional meaning?
More hands-on, you're choosing your own production partners, integrating with different sales channels.
And this is where Printify comes in.
Bingo. Alec loves Printify for his own business. He breaks down all the reasons.
Let's hear what makes Printify so special.
Okay. So first off, global fulfillment network.
Meaning?
Your products are made and shipped from closer to your customers, so faster shipping times lower costs.
That's huge.
Right. And then there's the pricing, competitive pricing on products and printing.
Okay, I'm liking this.
But here's the real kicker, the game changer, especially if you're aiming for that $10,000 a month.
Hit me with it.
Printify integrates seamlessly with various sales channels, like a dream.
So it's not just about the production, it's about...
getting your designs out there in front of the right eyeballs.
And Alec has some thoughts on the best sales channels.
He sure does. He actually ranks them from easiest to most challenging, which I think is super helpful.
Love a good framework. Lay it on me. Where do we start?
It starts with Etsy, good old Etsy.
Etsy, okay, so that's like the beginner-friendly option.
Exactly. Massive customer base, already there, low startup costs, super user-friendly.
What I like about Etsy is it's so transparent.
Right. You can basically spy on your competition in a good way.
Exactly. You can see what's selling, what's not.
You can analyze products, pricing, marketing, like a free masterclass every time you log in.
They even have that tool, right? The listing view.
Oh, yeah. That thing's a gold mine. You can see estimated revenue for different shops and products.
Wow. It's like having a crystal ball for market research.
Exactly. And Alec highlights this as a major advantage. No more guessing games, just hard data.
Okay, but let's say Etsy's not your vibe. Or maybe you've tried it and it's not converting.
He's got a backup plan.
Let's hear it.
TikTok Shop.
TikTok Shop. Okay, now hold on. I'm more of a scroller than a creator.
You don't need to be a dance video pro.
That's a relief.
TikTok Shop is still pretty new. Less competition, the algorithm can do the heavy lifting.
Wait, so you're telling me I can list my products and potentially make sales without even making a single video?
Yep, that's the beauty of it. Of course, creating content can boost your visibility.
Sure, but it's not a requirement, especially when you're just starting out.
Exactly. Alex sees TikTok Shop as a massive opportunity, especially for early adopters.
Okay, so we've got Etsy for those who like a dedicated customer-based TikTok shop, for those who want to ride the wave of a growing platform.
He doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
He does mention Amazon.
Amazon. Okay, now we're talking the big leagues.
Exactly, but not merch by Amazon. That's a whole other beast.
Oh, okay, so what's the strategy here?
He's talking about your own Amazon seller account linked to your Printify account.
So you're tapping into Amazon's massive reach, but with more control?
Exactly, you're calling the shots.
That sounds amazing, but I'm guessing it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
You're right. There are always trade-offs.
Let's hear them.
Well, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Something like that. So what are we giving up for access to Amazon's massive customer base?
Be prepared for higher costs
Makes sense.
and way more competition. You're playing in the big leagues now.
Yeah, you've got that right, everyone. And their mother seems to be selling on Amazon these days.
That's why Alex stresses paid advertising.
Ah, so there's the catch.
You got to be willing to spend money to make money, especially on Amazon.
So it's not as passive as, say, Etsy or even TikTok Shop?
Not really. You need a budget,
Yeah.
a strategy. You got to be in it to win it.
Okay, so higher risk, higher reward.
That's the name of the game. Alex says if you've got a solid product and you're willing to put in the work, Amazon can be incredibly lucrative. But
Well, what's the catch?
don't jump in head first.
Okay, I can see that.
Get your feet wet on those other platforms. First, learn the ropes, build your confidence then.
Then unleash the Kraken on Amazon.
Exactly. Now, are you ready for the Holy Grail?
The holy grail of print on demand.
The one and only
Hit me with it.
Shopify.
Shopify. Okay, so we're talking about building your own website, your own brand.
Exactly. Ultimate control, ultimate scalability.
But ultimate responsibility too, right?
There it is. You're not just uploading designs and hoping for the best.
You're building a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. You're responsible for everything. The website, the marketing, the customer service, the whole 9 yards.
That's both exciting and terrifying.
It is, but that's the beauty of it. You're not bound by anyone else's rules.
No more platform fees, no more algorithms to appease.
You're the captain of your own ship.
But with that freedom comes the challenge of actually getting people to find your ship.
That's where things get real.
Traffic. How do you even begin to drive traffic to your own website?
That's the million-dollar question, and Alec has some answers for that.
Lay it on me.
He's a big believer in building an audience first.
Okay, so like using those other platforms as stepping stones.
Precisely. Maybe you start with Etsy, build a loyal following then.
Then you transition them to your own Shopify store.
You got it. You've already proven your concept. You've got a customer base. Now you're just giving them a more curated experience.
I like it, so it's all about strategic growth.
Exactly. Start small, master the basics, then scale up.
Okay, so we've talked platforms, but what about the products themselves?
Yes, the fun part.
What kind of designs are people actually buying?
Is there a secret formula? Well, there's no magic bullet, but Alec does emphasize the importance of understanding your audience.
Makes sense, different platforms, different vibes.
Exactly. Remember Etsy?
The land of handmade and vintage?
Exactly. Think unique, quirky, personalized items.
Like custom mugs with funny sayings.
Yep. Or t-shirts with niche interests.
I've totally bought those.
See? You get it.
So it's about tapping into those passions, those subcultures.
Exactly. Etsy shoppers are looking for something they can't find just anywhere,
They want to stand out.
and you can help them do that.
Okay, so Etsy is all about uniqueness. What about TikTok Shop?
TikTok is all about trends.
So whatever's going viral at the moment.
Pretty much you got to stay on top of things, be
Yeah.
quick to adapt.
So if a certain sound is trending, you make a shirt around it.
Exactly. Remember those Bones Day and No Bones Day shirts?
Oh yeah, those were everywhere.
Exactly. People jumped on that trend and made a killing.
Okay, so Etsy is for the unique, TikTok Shop is for the trendy. What about Amazon?
Amazon is a different beast altogether.
How so?
It's all about finding products with high demand but low competition.
Easier said than done.
True, but not impossible. Alec uses keyword research tools to see what people are searching for.
So you're like a detective looking for clues.
Kind of. You're trying to find those gaps in the market, those unmet needs.
And then you create a product to fill that gap.
Exactly. For example, Alec noticed a demand for phone grips, specifically for gamers.
Smart.
There were plenty of generic options, but nothing tailored to that specific audience.
So he created a niche product within a larger market.
And it's been a huge success.
That's awesome. Okay, so even with all this market research, design still matters, right?
Absolutely. A great design is what's going to make your product stand out from the crowd.
Especially on Amazon, where you're competing with millions of other sellers.
Exactly. Your design is your first impression. It's got to be good.
Okay, so we've covered Etsy, TikTok Shop, Amazon. Where does Shopify fit in?
Shopify is all about branding.
Branding. Okay, so it's not just about the individual products, it's about the overall feel of your store.
Precisely. You're creating a brand identity, something that resonates with your target audience.
So instead of chasing trends, you're building something more sustainable.
Exactly. Think about brands you love.
They all have a certain vibe, a certain feeling.
And that's what you're trying to create with your Shopify store.
So it's less about quick wins and more about long-term vision.
Exactly. You're building a brand that you're proud of, something that represents you and your values.
I love that. So we've covered the platforms, Etsy, TikTok Shop, Amazon, Shopify.
From beginner-friendly to full-blown entrepreneurship.
And Alec breaks down that path to $10,000 a month, right?
He does. He talks about product selection, profit margins, scaling strategies.
Okay, so let's talk about the nitty-gritty. How do we actually make those numbers work? Okay, so let's talk about the money part. How do we actually make 10 grand a month with this stuff?
Well, Alec breaks it down into these three pillars, right?
Yeah.
Product selection, profit margins, and scaling.
Right, we touched on those, but now let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay, so product selection first. It's tempting to just chase those trendy products, like whatever's hot right now.
Sure, capitalize on that momentum.
Exactly. But Alex says you got to build a solid foundation first.
Okay, so don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. He calls these your evergreen products,
Hmm.
stuff people buy year-round. Classic designs, inspirational quotes, things with that broad appeal.
So you've got that steady income stream.
Exactly. And then you can sprinkle in those trendy items when the time is right.
Okay, so you've got your evergreen products, you're ready to roll up your sleeves. And what about profit margins? How do you make sure you're actually making money on each sale?
That's where things get real. You got to break it all down.
Break it down, meaning.
All the costs, not just production and shipping.
Right, there's more to it.
Platform fees, maybe advertising costs, depending on your strategy. And don't forget about your time.
Oh, yeah, time is money, but how do you actually calculate that?
It's tough, but Alex suggests giving yourself an hourly rate. Let's say you spend 5 hours designing a new product.
Okay.
Factor that into the overall cost. Then you can start playing around with pricing.
So maybe a higher price point on Etsy because people are expecting something unique?
Exactly. And then maybe a more competitive price on TikTok Shop where it's all about moving fast.
So finding that sweet spot
Exactly.
what feels fair to customers, but also make sure you're making a profit.
Okay, so we've covered product selection, profit margins. What about scaling? How do you go from side hustle to empire?
While Alec's not talking about working yourself to the bone.
Good, because I need my sleep.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Give me an example.
Maybe you expand your product line based on what's already selling well.
So you're doubling down on what's working.
Exactly. Or you try a new sales channel once you've mastered one.
So you're not spreading yourself too thin.
Right. Or maybe you outsource some tasks, like hire a freelancer to help with designs if that's not your strong suit.
Delegating, freeing up your time to focus on the bigger picture.
Exactly. And that's how Alec does it. He started small, learned as he went, and now he's hitting those income goals while still having that flexibility and freedom. It's inspiring. It shows that it's possible to build a successful business on your own terms.
Exactly. And one more thing that really resonated with me from Alex's video, he talks about finding joy in the process.
Oh, yeah. I love is that it can't just be about the hustle.
Exactly. Remember, print on demand. It's a creative outlet. You get to make cool stuff, connect with people who share your passions.
And build something you're proud of.
That's what it's all about. And as you embark on your own journey, here's a thought. What story do you want to tell? What will be on the t-shirt of your success?
That's a powerful image. Something to think about for sure.